Kohli,
you chose
you
not
said
to
Rahul
cooperate.
Gandhi didn't give you his
once
phone.
confirmed or denied.
He didn't cooperate with the technical committee, but 29 citizens did.
Several others
and
did.
The Supreme
29
Court
people did.
said in its response that the technical committee found malware in 5 of the 29 devices that it got. It failed to determine whether the malware was Pegasus or not, because the government never confirmed whether they were using Pegasus, so there's no way to know whether that is Pegasus or not. And secondly, let's look at the dramatis persona, those who've received this email: Mallikarjun Kharge, Mahua Mitro, Priyanka Chaturvedi, Raghav Chadda, Shashi Tharoor, Asuddin Owaisi. I don't see Nalin, Kohli or any of the BJP people there. How is it that most of these, or all of them virtually, happen to be in some way or the other leaning in towards the opposition or a part of the opposition?
Because you won't find me there, because I don't believe I'm an important person and I don't live in that false hope. Very simply put, I can see a conspiracy angle in that very list. Now let me take another story.
Either you've
No,
got
once again, Supriya ji, we've had a good debate so far. Nalin heard you peacefully. No, once again. It's not right. No, once again. Supriya Shrinate, Nalin heard you quietly in a dignified fashion. Argue through the power of your rhetoric and your argument. Don't interrupt. Let him complete. Nalin, Kohli, no government person here. Point number one.
So,
5 phones had malware. 5 phones had malware. You couldn't decide whether it was Pegasus because the government didn't accept it uses Pegasus.
Let me answer.
Nalin, Kohli.
I heard you. Look, Rahul, you will have to credit me with some basic intelligence that I keep track of my arguments. I do it on a daily basis in the court. I heard your question. I'm going to answer it. Let me now come to the point I was making. So the opposition is building a narrative, and quite interestingly, it's the most logical narrative that you would like to build. That look, all these names are opposition party people. Since they received the notification, therefore this is the government of India doing it. Now let me say another thing equally, and that's logical and it's possible. It's probable that a set of people who have an interest to hurt government of India specifically target opposition parties and they become absolutely pawns in the hand of something. I mean, do you really take it that this is to be done in it's a clumsy effort as far as I see it. Really clumsy. It is so clumsy that one should laugh at it. If you go to an ordinary investigator, forget about a high-end investigator, they'll say this looks like a conspiracy in which they have been made the pawns. And they're happily being made the pawns because they want something to be able to attack the Modi government. They can't attack the Modi government in terms of its popularity, in terms of its performance, in terms of its leadership. Because you can't do it, so you look for non-issues, then make them as these big issues with this self-importance. Oh, we are so important, therefore, we are being targeted. Do your job. Go to the people of India. Go and tell them this is my alternative. This is what we believe in. The infrastructure being built by Narendra Modi is not good enough. We will do it like this. We have done it in this state. They can't do that, no? So they don't have a narrative. To not have a political narrative is the only way out is build another narrative.
Okay, so respond now to the second question. 5 people had malware found on their phone. We couldn't determine whether it's Pegasus because the government wouldn't confirm whether it was using Pegasus or not.
What did so finally, fair enough. Now let's go simple, and this is my daily job as a lawyer. The matter went up to the Honorable Supreme Court. The matter is finally now sub judice and was a Supreme Court matter. What did the Supreme Court do then? Did it hold something and say anything? No, we want a further thing. They treated the matter as closed. Whatever be the reasons they did it, you don't like a judgment, so you can't turn around and say, I don't believe in the Supreme Court. You like a judgment, so you will say, I like the Supreme Court. Life is not like that. If you invoke the Supreme Court, then you have to wait for the result and the action out of the Supreme Court. I don't need to answer for that because that is finally by the Supreme Court, period.